delivery in South Africa. We also know that in recent years there's been upsurge in terms of sabotage of infrastructure, such as electricity supply cables, railway lines, traffic light poles, and cables. Some of this has been motivated by theft. We believe that some workers, as people on the coalface of service delivery, have been with us in fighting some of these incidents. And the practice of volunteering for the cause of the revolution is as old as the struggle of any revolution. It doesn't mean that workers don't have a grievance, but the workers have chosen the ANC over and above everything that is there out there, because they trust the ANC, that it is through the ANC that their issues can be addressed. It does not mean that SAMWU does not have demands and issues, some of which have not been fully addressed. So we must not pretend we are getting into some marriage of convenience. We are getting into a marriage of principle. And that is what the workers have said to us. Our vote is not for free. And this is why they chose the ANC over and above everybody else. But even that it may be, it is important that I put this to you as a matter of reflection. So as to highlight that what you are called to do is a noble call which defined our entire history of struggle against apartheid colonialism. What are we asked to do? Most notably, Nelson Mandela became prominent architect during the Defiance campaign against unjust laws, including the law that demanded blacks carry passes with them at all times. It is important that we note that. I'm also happy that we have responded to the SAMWU call to the launch of the Petrus Mashishi Brigade as part of the mass mobilization to visit our people everywhere, particularly in their workplaces, in local municipalities, and sectors responsible for service delivery, such as water sectors. One of the most important things to remember is that we approach our voters with due respect and humility, consistent with the spirit and text of our election manifesto, which is to serve the masses of our people. As the Petrus Mashishi Brigade, we must be able to explain basic issues such as to why we have taken the positions on international issues, such as aligning ourselves with the struggle of the people of Palestine for independence against the ongoing genocide in Gaza. In this regard, we welcome the UN Security Council decision to resolve a decision to deal with the question of the ceasefire, and that this is consistent with our posture of the freedom of people of Western Sahara, democracy in Eswatini, removal of the economic blockade against Cuba, and various other matters. Of high importance also is to demonstrate that the local sphere of government has been transformed from what it was in 1994, and that indeed South Africa is much better today. The ANC has worked closely with the alliance partners to promulgate laws that are worker-friendly and biased to our goals for equality across race, gender, and class, such as the following friendly laws that we have passed: Labor Relations Act 66 of 1995, LRA, Employment Equity Act, Basic Conditions of Employment Act of 1997, Mine Health and Safety Act of 1996, Occupational Health and Safety Act, Unemployed Insurance Act, Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Act. All these laws have had a tremendous impact in changing the face of the public sector to reflect our national and provincial demographics on race, gender, and class. Workers today can protest without fear and under protected strikes. This is because the ANC is informed by the objectives of defeating inequality across race, gender, and class. In pursuit of decent work, the ANC has introduced minimum wages across different sectors, including domestic workers who were previously unprotected by the legislation and suffered a lot of abuse. The ANC continuously monitors the cost of living environment and accordingly suggests interventions by government to ensure the livelihood of workers is not made worse by factors such as inflation. Primarily for this reason, that at some point, government subsidized the high prices of fuel as it impacts and results in high transport costs for workers, either through private cars or public transport. Subsidized housing schemes have also been in place, targeting specific salary brackets amongst public sector workers. The public service we inherited in 1994 was predominantly white and male, and that has drastically changed due to affirmative action policies by the ANC. Today, many black young women are part of the public service because of such progressive laws on employment equity. Workers have a lot to celebrate as part of the 30th anniversary of our freedom and democracy. And working together, we can do more. This includes those in middle and senior management, changing the face of the public service to reflect our demographics. Workers now participate in making policy decisions on a number of issues affecting both their own sectors as well as the economy as a whole through network. Our manifesto, comrades, deals with 6 priorities. The first priority is a jobs plan to put South Africans to work. In the next 5 years, we will create 2.5 million job opportunities in the Republic of South Africa. Industrialization, expanding infrastructure to grow an inclusive economy. We know that we export raw materials. What we're saying in terms of the industrialization approach is that we need to export finished goods so as to create employment inside the country. And in that way, we will expand more factories and so on in South Africa. Tackling cost of living, provide income support, invest in people and meet basic needs, defend democracy and advance freedom, build a better Africa and the world. On the jobs plan, comrades, to put South Africans to work, we have said already we will create 2.5 million. We'll expand the National Youth Service with the South African National Defence Force and expand work opportunities for unemployed graduates. We will increase support for small enterprises, entrepreneurs, and cooperatives, with set asides for women, youth, persons with disabilities, and Africans working. We will work with the business sector on job creation. to contribute to the national efforts to create employment. Will promote and monitor employment equity to ensure that Black people, women, and persons with disability or disabled persons are represented in work sectors, and that we grow a vibrant, non-racial and non-sexist middle class. Through industrialization, comrades, and expanding infrastructure, we said we will seek to fix the infrastructure constraints in energy, water, transport, and logistics that are critical to economic development, and expand health, education, and community infrastructure. We said we'll strengthen key industries like mining, steel, agri-processing, vehicle manufacturing, and construction, clothing and textile, chemical, and so on. We said we'll support labor-intensive industries that produce goods in South Africa. And that's what we are advocating for. We'll expand the Black Industrialist Program to support 2,000 companies. We'll support small businesses and cooperatives owned by women, young people, and persons with disability. We'll increase exports to global and continental markets using the African Continental Free Trade Area, BRICS Plus, and international trade relationships. We'll speed up land reform and redistribution to reduce asset inequality and protect security of tenure, improve food security and agricultural production. Will promote rural and urban development and enable greater access to housing. Will align government policy and transformation of the financial sector to meet basic needs and support job creation and industrialization. In tackling the cost of living, we'll focus on prioritizing food security. We said we will remove VAT on more essential items. We'll speed up land reform, support community home gardens, stop price fixing in basic items. I saw one leader failing to explain what is the price of bread. But I leave it there. It was very difficult. We'll expand subsidized basic services like water, houses for the poor, and indigent policies in municipalities. We'll promote cheaper and subsidized solar power. We'll regulate rental prices for student accommodation. We'll strengthen services and implement the national health insurance to make quality health care affordable and available to all. You will know that NHI has passed the two houses of parliament, is in the desk of the president to sign. Will ensure the national minimum wage increases in line with inflation and ensure full compliance. Will strengthen income support with existing social grants, use social relief of distress grants to phase in basic income support grant. In terms of investing in people and meeting basic needs, we said we will focus on giving national and provincial government power to support and intervene in municipalities that struggle to provide services to communities. We will help to provide clean water, maintenance capacity, and water infrastructure. We'll increase access to grants, free and subsidized housing, transport, water, sanitation, electricity, and communications. We'll invest in capability of people, improve access to quality education and health. We'll improve governance and the public service capacity, eradicate corruption, and work with communities to deliver quality and reliable basic services. We'll strengthen and support the role of families to support both young and older citizens, giving special attention to the raising of children. We'll strengthen the quality of services provided to older persons, including community-based and residential care facilities. We'll build consideration and respect for the elderly in society. In defending our democracy and advancing our freedom, we will promote and defend rights of all against racism. We'll continue the fight for women's emancipation. We'll intensify the war on crime and make our communities safe. We'll tackle corruption, improve government accountability. We'll strengthen investigation and prosecution capabilities and ensure severe consequences for corrupt activities in the public and private sector. Overhaul the immigration system to deal with the issue of irregular and illegal migration. Simplify visa application procedures. Introduce a unified citizen refugee and migration law. We'll build a capable and developmental state, strengthen links between government at all levels and the people, build professional and developmental public service based on Batupili. We'll reinforce the contributions of arts, heritage, language, culture, sports, and creative sector. In building a better Africa, we will continue supporting development and peace efforts on our continent and across the world. We'll strengthen the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area to open up trade and economic development in the continent. We'll promote peace and security. We'll increase the voice of developing countries in multilateral institutions. We'll advance progressive internationalism and solidarity with the people of Palestine, Western Sahara, Cuba, and others. Comrades, those are our 6 priorities. You need to go through them to understand. And most of the things we talk about in those priorities are implemented as we speak. If you listen to political parties, they launched their manifestos last year. They are repeating themselves this year, after the ANC have launched its manifesto. So I don't want to mention them by name. And others are just hollow. They are copycats of what the ANC says, including the latest, which has won to be registered. There is no policy there. It's a one-man show which want to bring down the ANC. Now, you cannot say, comrades, you know that thing is a diversion, a big diversion. You cannot say you are a member of the ANC, but you are going to open a political party to save the ANC. And then you say you are doing that. And then other people, including in the ANC, believe that that joke must be left as it is. We will defeat everybody on the ground, working with our people. There's no court that will defeat the ANC. We'll defeat them on the ground. But there is a principal issue you must understand, the legacy of the ANC. And that legacy, me and you have got the right to defend it. There's nobody who's going to take Mkhonto Wesizwe. Tomorrow they will take the Women's League and the Youth League and then register it as a political party. And Mbalula, there he goes with a new political party called ANC Youth League. And the ANC doesn't challenge it. So tomorrow we are in court with Zuma on the trademark and the copyright. It's not over. yes, on technicalities in terms of the IEC. The IEC won the case against us, not Zuma, because the IEC argued the question of delays and time frame, that despite our appeal to them that it is within the law that they registered the MK party. It's not Dalimpofu who won. It is the IEC which won against us. But we open the second leg, which is the trademark. Umkhonto weSizwe is a registered trademark and the logo of the ANC. We've got it. It was registered and ceded to the ANC. When we challenged COPE, when it was formed, we were defeated in court because the court said to us, COPE does not belong to the ANC, the Congress of the People, 1955. Produced to the court how do you come to a conclusion that this is your trademark? We could not. And then we went and registered everything. So we've registered MK. If they win by fluke, it will be by fluke if they win the trademark case. But they can try. But comrades will not stop defending what is right because that's what is important. So we'll be in Durban tomorrow. And I know Zuma will arrive on time tomorrow there. Because that is his job, to destroy. You see, and then to destroy, and then that is it. When you destroy, and then you go to the people and say you'll get 2/3 majority. Do you see 2/3 majority in that party? There's not 2/3 majority. This week they were in Limpopo, Salman. He was addressing himself. He went to the Free State. And then he says, no, you can see an act of counter-revolution. Just disruption. And then kuthiwa siyibukele loo nto le. Uyabona siyadlwembezelwa nje. And then comrades are still speaking English. No, you are promoting. Who's promoting what? We don't have any problem with Zuma forming a party, calling it after himself, Msholozi party, whatever that it is. You won't see us running after him. When you ask the question in the next conference, what did you do when Zuma stole the party? We must give an account. We must not say, we challenge him. And we challenge him in court. And we are aware what he's trying to do. He doesn't campaign against all these political parties. He's attacking the ANC and attacking the ANC leadership. What? Yeah. No, that one. Yeah. Otherwise, you have coup himself. Yeah. Abasebenzi bakhona babaza kumela. Comrades. So, asileqani naye. We don't have time for him. We've got time for our people. And our people, with all the difficulties we have faced, are with us. Amaxhosa athi ihlathi lo sithela ngabantu. Bathi asindawo. Sihlala apha koKhongolose. Abantu abaya kulanto abajoyina into ezigqithayo. You can look at them. They all have problems with the ANC. Uyabona, ngabantu nje bebesemnyango bexakwe into ukuthi sizawuyaphi. Uyabona, and then bayaqokelelana bame ndawonye babukeke ngathi they are new. They are not new. We know them. Uyabona, ifish noma ingathini ayikwazi utshintsha. Uyayibona le yekinki fish. Uyabona, ilonto ungababiza ngamagama abanye sibagxothile. In the ANC abanye batyiwa zistep aside. Bakulanto. Uyabona ngoku today the 26 political parties and their people are being put there with public representatives. Uzuma uzifakile kula list number 1 kula mgida ku. Uyazazi ukuthi it doesn't qualify. thina abantu abangaqualifyiyo sibakhuphile elistini yethu. Criminal records, abatyiwa si-step aside, abasezinkundleni zamatyala. We have taken them out of the list of the ANC. Now, City Comrade ambozimela ngenqa yakho, and then uzilungiselele lo dyubdyisha ubukuyo. Xa ugqibileyo siza kubuyisa uzembuthweni. Le nto ukuthi uMbalula xa kabanjwa siyojikeleza nge-t-shirt pha le nto uyenzayo ayilunganga, it's over. Pelile embuthweni. Ngoba i-ANC never sent us to steal. Funeka sisika umgca ene siwusikile ngoku. Uyamosha, uyabanjwa, uzaziphendulela. We will never defend wrongdoing in the name of the ANC. Uzuma, if he was here in the ANC, he will not qualify to be in our list. Ebengazungena. Uyazazi kwa yena. Ene samnikeza ixesha lakhe ukuthi makaphathe. Waphatha ngezo ndlela zakhe, usishiyele ozondo, wasishiyele inyakanyaka nje. Igupta wasishiyele inkandla gate. Akhona ngasishiyela ngayona lo tata. Siphendula every day. Ngenxa yakhe. Zinto asishiyele zona ezo. Sekusithwa singamasela nje. Kungenxa yakhe. Sibethwa kuthiwa hayi Mbalula suyiphendula lonto. Dithetha inyani. Comrades, uba nando nyulela uxoka hayi nihambe wrong. Andizuxoka mna ndiyayibeka injalo. Ukuthi lo tata wasizisela inyakanyaka. Namhlanje sihleli ne-Gupta gate. Siyazileqa iGupta sihlele eDubai aziphuma. Umcimbi wakhe. Inkandla. I-swimming pool, i-fire pool. Umcimbi wakhe. Sahlala nezo zinto. I-helicopters abantu, i-flights, lander, waterproof, sa-defender. Uzondo lo, sebemthuka. Bembiza utata wabantu ngenhlamba ezoyikekayo. Wakhethwa nguye. Wathi xa kagqiba umkhetha, zeniye kula komishini nonke. Saya ke kula komishini, yena wabaleka ngelantshi. Yena kayigqiba. Oko uzondo ecinga bafana uyabuya kangabuyi. Uwemka ngelantshi kulungile ba. Khona. Wabanjwa. Nalapho amathuphe koko kubanjwa kwakhe sisame ngayo lonto le. Kubani beyivuyela lanto ubona umuntu omdala esiye etrongweni. Akho umuntu oyivuyelayo lonto le ukuthi ne ubona umuntu igqala lomzabalazo utata omdala eyovalelwa etrongweni. But comrades, asirani ipotsoyi kaloku. South Africa, it is governed by the rule of law. Kuzawubanjwa kubanjwe kwa wena nechomi yakho ethandayo. Because it's the rule of law. Uthi xa kabanji uMbalula ndimvela uxolo ujola. Umntasekhaya ubanjiwe ndibanjelwe into zami. Exactly. Funeka ndiziqhube. Uyabona? Ijalo Muslendo. Lesi sithetha ngayo apha kule manifesto sisithi i-capable and developmental state. It means you will be arrested without fear of favor. That's what it means. Akukhathaliseki ukuthi ngubani. Uba nifuna ipotsoyi bantakwethu hambani niyovula imigidi yenu yalikatsi far away from us. Leyo ipotsoyi asoze ibe khona apha kwa-ANC. Asinamona, asinanzondo, asimlwila tata. Yathi xa ndithetha naye enkomfeni, ndamcenga, ndimcela, ndithi iza ndizokubona. Andixelele iingxaki zakhe. Zangandibona. Ndambhalela neleta. Ndabona nje mna and besiyazi laa nto MK ukuthi yinto yakhe. Waqala ngeSAMWU. Wavela nje sevela esithi inkokheli yeSAMWU. Kawuve nje inkokheli yeSAMWU. Babefuna uregister iSAMWU beyenza ipolitical party baflopa. tabahamba ngaphambili tabanyisa kuleya kanga bakwazi sayilontsha isanko ngokusesikweni nakusemthethweni sayilwa lonto le baflop baya back and forth basizela ngomkhonto basigwaza ngomkhonto wethu bawutshintsha bawenza umkhonto wesinko uyabona ilento bayenzayo babalekela pha bayoyivula le. You know, comrades, if they've got integrity and moral standing and they are so popular with our people, boyikantoni bangazivulela into yabo bebaleka ngento ze-ANC. You know, kwi-political party apha niyayazi ngomasipala abacampaign abantu bala political party. Yes, abacampaign too, but banesite 1, 2, and uyabona abanayo nelist babizwa nje kuthiwa ningenile manene but I kuzawungena wena again. They are everywhere. Dathuka mna ndibabona eLimpopo kuthiwa hema AIC ku-local government. That abantu abazange ndababona nange-poster eyi-1. You know i-poster yabo yintoni? Zezakhalazi ze-ANC. Black, green and gold. But abantu bafika uyabona xa uphethwe ibhabhalaza utyhoboze ufike pha uvotele nje ikhalazo ndigqibile uvote kanti uvotele le nto ufuna utya ngaloo nto uphopha ngalo mkhonto usigwaza ngawo ufuna utya ngala default yezakhalazi ze-ANC zipha kulaa mkhonto wesizwe. Mkhonto wesizwe yinto yethu, yinto yabantu ufuna utya ngayo. So xa siyi-challenjayo loo nto leyo kuthiwa no masitheni asizuyiyeka loo nto. So comrades, siyaphambili abantu bamanathi and le vote is not a given. We've got to convince people. We talk to them ebusuku nemini. Sibaxelela sibacenga ukuthi bahambe nombutho wabo. Asiyi kubo sisonge izandla. We're going to them with this manifesto. 6 priorities. Ezibendini cacisela zona. Sizifunde, sizi-internalize, sizi-understand. Because this is what people will be voting for. And that's what is important. So, i-ANC hiyo yodwa iyatsho laa ngoma enamandla. Akekho omnye umuntu othetha into evakalayo. Bonke bayathetha ubafa. I-DA iWes ngaba bathi bona i-public service bazayinqunqa ibelina. Andibazi abasebenzi abazavotela abahamba nalanto bayayiqonda na. Ngaba bathi bona yonke lento bendiyifunda apha ezigains sisenzileyo bazawuzibulala bona. Into ze-Labor Relations Act and all of that abayingeni loo nto. And ungahle ubabone napha eKapa indlela abaphethe abantu bakuthi gadalala ngakhona. Oonoteksi ndiyayazi bayahlupha but pha eKapa bayavictimize. eCape Town, our people, black business, icinezelwe pha i-DA. And then babhatyaza ke ngento yasePalestine bayangingiza ngoku. Bakwi-6s and 7s because babaxelela ama-Muslim apha eSouth Africa sizunivotele. We are done with you. So babona sebegqithile ophopho ukuthi yeyisibhatyazile. So they don't know what to do. Thina oko siyibambile into yasePalestine siyiqali ngoku. Sibambe pha koMandela no-Oliver Tambo beyiqhuba. Oluthuli okoko kuliwa ngePalestine oyasa Arafat. Ayikho nto yangoku. Bathi no, uRamaphosa akasoza imele lento ngumntu wamaJuda. Uyimele ngci uRamaphosa into yasePalestine. Uyimele uyayikhokhela pha eburhulumenteni. Buphelile ngokubuxoki. Because apha sibethwa nge-fake news and bayasinqunqa ngayo. Pha kula TikTok basibethe nge-artificial intelligence. Bavele bathatha izwi lakho balifake kwinto ongayitshongo. Uzicacisa ubusuku bonke. ngoba kukho abantu abahlala phaa kwi-WhatsApp groups umsebenzi wabo nje uxeka. Yabona xa nolandela i-WhatsApp group ungafunga uthi no limkile likababa izwe. Umuntu avuke nje kuseni athi yi-nonsense yantoni le yenziwa zininzi expert u-addresswa ngumuntu olele ngomqolo ongayenziyo ne-door to door. Aba bantu bahambileyo baya ku-MK but ngabantu abakakade bamkayo abakhampeyini abenzi kwanto bebehleli pha begxeka nje because bafuna la Duke Joyce yabo ibuye laa nto yabo yomosha yophathi ANC gadalala kukwazenzela bafuna laa nto ngoku abayifumani apha kunzima ngoku uyageza sikujongisa emnyango sithi efondini khawusi-explaine mani yintoni le nto uyenzayo kwekageza omnye umeya ngapha eFree State epetsula phaa egeza la meya egezela abantu kange kutshona ilanga ndathi ke ntho ntse uyetsa o tsamaya o rwaka batho wena he moetapele ndithi heyi o etsang. So umntu nomntu ufuneka azigade nani apha komasipala niyabazi abantu abamoshayo baninzi gqithi bayazenzela bayamosha sibafakile abanye babo sabafaka ezikhanseleni abasebenzi they don't work abaye ebantwini kodwa umuntu simenze ikhansela ndibone elinye ikhansela lisithi phayo uhamba ngegaga yeyi andazi beninyula ntoni xa ninyula mna ndithi hey madoda lo muntu likhansela le-ANC yathi kuthiwa ngoku ninengxaki yamanzi ndizayilungisa xa ndibuyayo ndiyabuya nakule ndawo ndikuyo ndilapha ngoba ndizojongana neengxaki zenu nina benijonga ntoni xa nikhetha into efana nam. Uyazi comrades into esibulalayo ba sikhetha abantu abapopular kwicommunity lo mntu lo upopular ngantoni ngojayiva simenza ikhansela xa sifika ebantwini phaa abantu bafika bayamonyula bamenza ikhansela ward council xa uyijonga le chap idume ngantoni ukuthi hayi yayifujika mnyango nda. So xa kafika phaa wenza izinto esingazilindelanga from as public representative oSpielman nitakane nabanye phana ngoku inhloko yami yatshisa funeka ndiyilungise khona pha kule ndawo nivela kuyo khona pha koSpielman athi abantu kimabusman andimazi akekho kulaa nto kamarhashule ngoku inoba utyhokoza phaa uphopho ibhruku ezincinci. So ngabantu abafana nabo abasishiyayo apha embuthweni bamkile bakulaa nto. So nina niyabajonga ngoku nicinga ukuthi yinto entsha ayiyonto entsha le ngabantu ekudala basihlupha and comrades asinawutsho but sincedakele ngoba abantu abagezayo baya ngoncipha apha embuthweni bayaphela kancane kancane. Funeka siyilungise le nto yethu siyilungise ngoba amageza ayahamba abashekileyo shem ngabajongileyo nje awuyazi ukuthi ulinde ntoni but ulindile uphopho ujongile mhlawumbi ndingabengelwa into ethile usalindile but amageza ayendaweni yawo. Xa uthi uyamjonga lo mntu lo naxa bethetha uyababona bachubekanga they are not polished uncouth ngabantu ke besibanqanda everyday apha basidefy basithuke kwi-social media esidlangalaleni ngoku they have left. So we must not look at other things in the negative sense, we must look at also positive ukuthi ingathi siyancedakala apha very fast. So basebenzi xa ndigqibelisa ndifuna ukuthi kuni ndiyayazi ukuthi when we go to an election we go and then when we come back we disappear. We must not do that. Izawuhamba le nto uba siqhuba ngelo hlobo kufuneka simanyane ngolu hlobo sivane. Uba siyenzi loo nto utshaba lingenile izawuhamba inkululeko yabantu. Sizawufana no-Sandinista eNicaragua nakwezinye indawo apho i-liberation movements were toppled simply because we undermined the way of doing things. We must not do that. SAMWU has got issues that must be addressed, either with the ANC help, but they must be addressed. Akho mayor ufuneka aziphathe apha. Abasebenzi bayatoyitoya pha umeya uqhathisile. Ukumenga ntoni ifondini? Wangadress into zabasebenzi ungumeya we-ANC. Ekhona elinye igeza apha le opposition apha eJoburg. Wafika apha wa-insourcer abasebenzi kamasipala. Uyabona wathi no insource. Yes. Ama-comrade ezo zinto ziyaboyisa ukuzenza bona xa sithina siphethe. Ufike pha kuyaliwa xa uthi umamela kakuhle kuliwa ngantoni, but lento must be resolved. Why ume entabeni ngathi lo masipala ngokanyoko or anything? Ayingokamamakho lo masipala. Yes, masipala wabantu uthunywe yi-ANC. You see? So that is it that we must correct. Ukuthi ama-comrade angacingi bafana omasipala yinto yabo. Ayonto yabo. Mamela ama-comrade nabasebenzi. Xa bazange izikhalazo nihlale phansi nizilungise. Xa singalungiswayo liyangena utshaba. Uyabona? Sibe diverted kule nto siyenzayo. So we must never allow ourselves to be diverted. We must remain united and building a cohesive movement. That's what is important and we need to do going forward. Londo ayitsho ukuthi siyanipatronize or we're making a favor for you. No. It's part and parcel of unity building within our alliance. That's what is important. Ezinye izinto sifikelela ixesha lolonyulo sisazilungisa. Siyazixoxa kwi-alliance. And comrades said to us, sibekela yonke into yokuqala ngokusiya empini. Because siyabona apha if kususwa i-ANC sisengxakini. So abasebenzi bakhupha imali, bakhupha yonke into abanayo basegroundini. Le nto niyenzayo apha yinto ebalulekileyo eyenzwa ngabasebenzi. Le nto funeka siyazi. Abanye abantu xa sesiwina elections abayazi nale vote silanda. Kunzima egroundini. Silanda kude, asilali emakhaya. Sijikeleza sifunana nale vote. Inhliziyo yakhe ibe buhlungu xa ubona umuntu edlala ngayo. Yes, umbone nje ukuthi hayi lo udlala ngayo lento akayazi vela. Ucinga bafana siyiphiwe ngeskimmboard. Kwathiwa thathani ANC. Silwela kakubi. Uthi ungena emzini womuntu agalela amanzi amdaka. Umcenge kunjalo. Utsibe lo manzi awuyazi ngamayeza or intoni. Yabona unational chairman wami bembetha ngamanzi emanejika. Wajika uGwede Mantashe wathi andizwahamba. Kuba lamanzi ayaqotha andizwahamba. Wahlala unational chair. Wahamba phale vene nalatata ebemgalela ngamanzi. Uthi no ndiyabona mosilamanzi ayaqotha. Ucimba fana ndizawumka andizwahamba tu. So ivote apho ivela khona ngoba siyabacenga abantu ufike ungena emzini womuntu omnye umama pha e-Eastern Cape ngeweekend siya canvasa pha fika pha ndithetha naye uthi asinazi nenza ntoni ndithi kwenzakala ntoni mama ufuna uthini xa uthi awuyazi kwenzakala ntoni mhlawumbe singancedana sikhawulelana uthi no andisebenzi ndiphila ngenkamnkam le yabantwana ndithi nantsi idelivery yokuqala ndithi le nkamnkam bafane velaphi le yabantwana sayiqalapha omnye uthi hayi aritsibi uri batho bana ba etsang Tate Mbalula hayi rona ra sokola ntate hayi na ANC khale ke votela man okay and no hayi khona uthethe phakathi kwendlu ye-RDP dithi ariqale kaliqweni uya isali indlu yona ke ayibona dithi indlu yeme unukebe wa ba wa ifumana le ka letsatsi le leng batho jwale ba tswa maplasing ba tswa ditoropong wa tlala motho eo le mongwe tshwantse a lokisetswe bodulo abantu kufuneka balungisele indawo ohlala bafuna amanzi xa unojika uzawubona ubuninzi babantu abakhona abaza in the urban areas kufuneka kwenze indlela kwenziwe yonke loo nto leyo. But over and above that, our manifesto still emphasizes indigent policy. Still, we're talking about that. It's happening. And then still talk about housing and all of that. Which other government can do that? Nobody. It's the African National Congress. Sayiqala lento ngo-1994. Now I conclude for sure. 1994, when we came into power, we realized that we come with the RDP. We say to our people, we'll give you RDP. We have the RDP, we canvass our people, they tell us what are the priorities. When we get into government, akoma lamapula ikyayiqiwa ayisulele enhloko basishiye nenkabangaba engaka yetyala, which is a debt we are still servicing today. Xa basishiya nelatyala pasaxakana nento ukuthi sizayithini lento, and then kukho state assets up. Amabhulu, they used to have state assets or aventura niyazazi, be-owner amadam dams bebhukuqa pha sayibulala lanto in the restructuring of the state assets. Yintoni urhulumente funeka ahlawulele a dam, and then we restructured those things. We wanted this money now to fund the program of the RDP. We then started in government to prioritize. What do we start with? Such basic needs of our people. So, siqala phalento in 30 years. Lebati today in 30 years ababoni ANC yenzantoni. uDan Mfokeng ise MEC of Housing eGauteng esakhe ezazindlu nangoku zikhona. Ndizibuza indlu ezinjani. Xa ndigqithayo ndisiye Free State. Zininzi. Abantu baphaya Orange Farm. Abuninzi babo baphuma emaplasini bahlala phaa kwezazindlu. For the first time sazibona izindlu zikarhulumente we-ANC. uJoe Slovo waya eButshabelo wayenza iButshabelo Accord eButshabelo ngomcimbi wokwakhiwa kwezindlu for abantu bakuthi, because we didn't have enough resources to implement what we said in the RDP we will do. We stretched it over the years because our priority was to deal with macroeconomic stability in the economy. And that's what is important. Today, in our manifesto, we talk about industrialization. Brave. Because we've got to create factories apha in South Africa. Sakhe, sidibanise izinto, sizikhuphe apha as finished product. Singabi thina sithatha yonke into siyikhupha. Kodwa sinabantu abangasebenziyo. So when we do that, we create more jobs in the economy. And that's what we have realized we need to do now, going forward. So, akekho omnye umntu who can speak the right thing with a clear sense of agency, but with clarity that we need a government that is intervening, but with experience. Abanye abana experience. They just tell people what they want to hear. If the people want death penalty, I'm sure Zuma ngoqala uzathi ndizayifaka baba. Yeah. Ndizayilungisa and all of that. And others bayalandela ke. Andithethi ke ngaba babomvu hayi ke abo bahamba nathi emgcini. bathetha yonke into yethu. Awuthetha nge-social grants bathi ewe siza-increase imali yakhona. Ufika umbuzo izabe ivelaphi le mali engakho uzazi-increase ngobungaphi. Kuxakane nento thina sithetha nge-basic income grant. Sizayitransforma la 350 into something meaningful. Xa usesetyhini ufunana nomsebenzi sikubetha nge-basic income grant. Sizawuluthatha ulutsha lonke lase-South Africa silifake ku-youth service through National Defence Force. Siyabaskila umntu akagqibanga esikoleni udrope out nge-teenage pregnancy akasenanto ukuthi uza kwenza ntoni. Ungumntu omtsha. And then we say sizawulahlela phaa kula youth service. Ini-train, niphume niziplumber and everything else. And then you live a meaningful life. And that's what we're going to do. Sithi ewe makutyalwe imisebenzi for ulutsha, but we must also look beyond 35. Singavaleli nje 18 to 35. Sithi 35 upwards also must be catered for in terms of job opportunities in the country. Sithi abantu abatsha mabafumani experience emsebenzini. Ungathi xa ugqibile euniversity uyofuna umsebenzi kwamasipala kuthi awuna experience. Makangene emsebenzini umntana uzayifumana apho i-experience. So that's what we say. Sithetha into zokonyani. Hayi imfishi. Sithetha into ebambekayo. So kubani umuntu ongazuyiva lonto ahambe nayo. Asithetha into engazukwenzakala thina. We are talking about things that are going to happen in the next 5 years. So makabani sibulela kakhulu with your initiatives ngoba niqinisa thina nalomzabalazo. You are enriching. We know there are challenges. It's not going to be easy because we're the incumbent. But you launching this brigade, you are strengthening our forward momentum. We feel supported, and that our machinery towards victory is consolidated. Thank you very much.
Holy